So here I am in Ritzville on my way to Puyallup from Spokane, going to work on a YouTube subscriber's car to get some money together for the bus. So I'm going to take a pee, get some food, and get back on the road. So here we are in Puyallup, getting ready to head to his house, work on a car. Decided to give the Buick a wash. It was a long trip. She was really dirty. Now she's all cleaned up, looking good. And it's time to hit the road and go fix this car. You know, one thing I never ever get tired of, this car sounds aggressive. Damn.
So this don't go super high without
no worries.
Doing blocks or whatever. We can do a couple things. I got some wood.
So here we are. We made it. And here is Eric's beautiful 89 Probe GT. Like, this is what my car is for performance. This car is for cosmetics. Like, my car is a cosmetic disaster, but it goes really, really fast. This car, still pretty quick, but this car is beautiful. He's got that B&R 2860 hybrid with the factory exhaust and O2 housing. It's got a decent front mount on it, intake. It's got 2 1/4 inch intercooler piping, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice little matching blow-off valve. This car is just so clean. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. And today we are going to be fixing that. Oil leaks, F2T problems. So this thing is getting a new timing belt kit. It's getting valve cover gasket, going to reseal the oil pan. It's going to get rear timing cover gasket. It's going to get a front main. It's going to get a camshaft seal and as much other things as we can get done on it. It's probably we'll do, you know, thermostat gasket and all that stuff while we're at it, since we're going to have to probably drop coolant and everything anyway. So we will see how far we get on this thing today. Hopefully we can get her all the way resealed. Got to drop the subframe to do the oil pan, so that'll be fun, but not too bad. So yeah, this car is just absolutely gorgeous. I got to get my windows tinted, man. This is so nice.
Yeah, they turned out nice.
And does this have a pace setter exhaust on it?
No, I don't know what the muffler is, but I had 2 1/2 inch all the way back, turbo back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just did the 3-inch bumper exit because I'm cheap.
Yeah, my exhaust is like
gorgeous. All right, so we've got the distributor housing, distributor torn off. That gasket was leaking. Got the timing side broke down. The rear timing gasket was leaking, and the camshaft seal was leaking, obviously. Come down here. Front main seal was leaking. So we're replacing that. That's in the oil pump. We're not going to pull the oil pump off, but we're pulling the subframe down. We're going to pull the oil pan off, reseal the oil pan, do the front main seal, do the camshaft seal, valve cover gasket, rear timing cover gasket. We're going to do the distributor housing gasket, distributor shaft seal, and then we are also going to be doing thermostat gasket, a new thermostat, and then this thing is pretty much resealed of everything that can leak except for the rear main because we're not going to pull the trans. It got a new one. I did an LSD swap for him, and then that tranny ended up having a failure, a random failure, so he swapped this trans in. Didn't swap the rear main when he did it, but it was new. It's only got a few thousand miles on it, so hopefully it's not leaking. But we'll know after we get all these resealed. We've got all of our seals and everything over here. We won't need these. This is for the throttle body, but we got our good gaskets here, thermostat housing gasket here, exhaust gasket here, turbo to exhaust gasket here, manifold gaskets, which we won't need. This is for the coolant pipe, which I don't think we're going to do that. This is upper and lower intake manifold gasket, which we don't need to reseal. He doesn't have any boost leaks. There's the valve cover gasket. Here is the front main seal and camshaft seal here. And then we have a head gasket there, which we're not going to need, a new oil drain plug, and distributor gasket. We're not going to do the valve stem seals because I don't want to rip the head apart. We've got a timing covered dust gasket. So pretty much we have every gasket that we're going to need. We got a couple of EGR gaskets and stuff that we don't need here. So I'm going to consolidate the seals that we actually need and get ready to put them suckers together. And I'm right stuffing everything just because better to be safe than sorry. I don't care what anybody says. It's a good idea. You can never have two absolutely perfect mating surfaces without machine work, and we don't have a machine shop. So I'm going to do what I can with what I got, get this thing to stop leaking oil, get back on the road with her sexy ass, and start boosting away.
Rock and roll.
You happy?
Yeah. This is
Hell yeah. Hour and a half in. We've already got the engine pretty much torn down to all the seals. Just got to do valve cover and oil pan, and
everything
we'll be ready. Yeah, everything. 150,000 miles, and this literally pretty much every oil seal in this car was leaking. So now we'll get that all fixed up, and hopefully the engine bay and underside will match the rest of this cleanly bitch. All right, so got the new cam seal on, sealed the rear timing cover, got the new water pump on with the new gasket, got the new front main seal in. He's working on getting the oil pan off, or getting the exhaust off so we can get the oil pan off. And I'm going to come over here, do the distributor housing gasket, and get that all back together, do the valve cover, do all that back together. So after I do that, then I can throw the timing belt and tensioner and idler pulley and everything back on, retime the car. So I'm making good time here. It's only like 1 o'clock. Pretty much already have all the new seals in except for oil pan and valve cover gasket, which I'm about to start doing now. And then the new timing belt kit and everything, and this thing will be ready to go. The distributor housing gasket's pretty easy. Got to throw a new O-ring on the distributor, and then oil pan and button it all back together. So we'll be done tonight, looks like. So if you need a reference as to why you should change old oil seals, there's a rubber dust seal that goes around this timing cover that covers up the camshaft gear on these, right? Here's a new one. Nice pliable rubber, right? Nice and floppy. Here's what happens after oil gets to rubber for a long period of time. Concrete. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? Just disintegrates. Does that seal against oil? Probably not. Does it seal against dust? Probably not. Always a good thing to replace. Alright, so timing side's all back together. Distributor and distributor housing are all back together. Thermostat and gasket are back in. Got that coolant line hooked up there. All the sensors are hooked back up. I just got to put the valve cover on, put that hose back on the PCV. And then I've got the windage tray here cleaned up. Got to reseal it, put it back on. Got a new oil pan over here ready to go on. And then this puppy is done except for putting the subframe and exhaust back on for the pan. We did discover some odd chunks of stuff in the oil pan. These weird half-moon metal pieces that almost look like threads to something. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Yeah, it's got these little chunkies. They're these guys here. I don't know what these are, but there is a bunch of them. They almost look like threads out of the block for the head studs or the head bolts.
Like a sludge setter.
But there was a bunch of them in the pan, nothing on the oil pump pickup, and the engine runs fine. So they might have been from a previous engine failure. This engine was rebuilt.
Warranties, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it seems like everything's good. He's got a BNR 2860 on it. And yeah, everything looks good. Bottom end looks good. No heat marks, no play in the rods, anything to indicate any problems there. So time to slap her back together and get this thing running. And just like that, she's back together. New valve cover gasket, timing cover gasket, cam seal, timing belt kit, tensioner, idler pulley, water pump, front main seal behind the crank pulley, distributor housing gasket, distributor O-ring, valve cover gasket, resealed the oil pan, and the windage tray, a new gasket for the oil pump pickup. So now we got to throw some fluids in this sucker and she's good to go. And she's back. And so far, not a single drip of anything. and it was leaking hella before. There we go. That's a resealed engine. Well, here we are, almost exactly 12 hours after I got to his house, and I'm back at the hotel to sleep for the night, and then in the morning I head home. Unfortunately, as you can see by the state of my windows, the weather was not great. I wasn't able to get the beautiful shots of Mount Rainier that I was hoping to, which looks like throwing distance from his backyard, and it's absolutely beautiful, but it was obscured by the clouds all day, and then it started raining. If tomorrow, if it's nice, I'll go find a nice spot and get some video and some pictures of it. It's so gorgeous. I'll just go back to his house real quick and everything, but probably won't happen. The weather's not supposed to be great, but we did get everything done on the car. Doesn't leak a single drop. It was literally dripping like a solid stream of oil out of the front main seal before. You could see the drops. He pulled into his garage at normal speed, and you could literally see drops 1 inch apart the whole entire way in. Like, it was leaking badly. Pretty much every seal showed signs of seepage and leakage. And we got them all done up. He doesn't leak any coolant. He doesn't leak any oil. Car is absolutely immaculate. Got all the parts cleaned up. Got it all back together. I got his tranny that I did in the last video when I drove all the way over here to work on his car, installed the LSD in his trans, and the trans failed. Sounds like input shaft bearing blew up. I've got that in the trunk, and I'm going to take it to work, and that'll be a separate video where I tear it down and diagnose the failure. So, I guess, yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is part of the things that I do to make money. For my boss and everything. I never stop going. All weekend I work most of the time on different side projects and side jobs, and this time it was driving from Spokane, Washington to Puyallup. Actually Meridian is the name of the city, I believe. Yeah, got it all done, man. He's super happy. I'm super happy. Made some good money for the bus. So yeah, when I get home, let's see if we can get the keep the side work going, and I hope you enjoy this video, and thanks for watching.